This is Kathy from Gadget Stop 321, and today I cleaned out a bunch of pens. And these three I re-inked up. All the others I put back in my pen case. I still have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I still have 7 pens in addition to these, so I've got 10 pens inked up right now. But these two are going to my sister. I'm going to try to deliver them tomorrow, and this one I'm keeping, but I've got a job for it. Now, like I said, this is the second inking for each of these pens, and this is the only one that I kept the same ink in. The other two, I'm trying something different to see if it works, and the results have been good so far. So, this first one is the demonstrator. Um, it's a Pilot 78G Plus, and you are probably sick of hearing me talk about these, but I'm just so excited about them. I'm really enjoying these pens. Now, I will mention that someone commented in a previous video that they had the demonstrator version and they kept it in a pencil case and it really got scuffed up. Really, it's very prone to scratching up. And so I just wanted to pass that along. I had said that I would feel comfortable throwing this in a purse. So maybe throwing it in a bag's not the best thing to do, but with it being an inexpensive little pen, you don't have to worry as much about it. But I just wanted to say that I guess I like the feel of the pen, but as far as durability goes, I would compare this plastic to like the old Click ballpoint pens that you like get free from the bank and whatnot. It's on par with that. But let's go ahead and get to the writing sample. This is the 78G Plus. This is the newer model, and this particular pen has a medium stainless steel nib, and this is the one that writes pretty wet. So I am experimenting with Diamine Earl Grey. And I love it. Nice and smooth. No excessive drag or friction like I've had with other pens. This is the medium nib, and I love this. It's looking pretty dark here because it's putting down a pretty decent amount of ink. But as it dries a nice kind of medium brown, I would say. So I think my sister's going to like that. And next, I kept Pale Blue Dot in the original 78G. Now this one, I don't know if this is a characteristic of all of the originals, but this one writes pretty dry. But it's still smooth. It's also a medium. There's a little more resistance. Look at that. Look how dry that is. There's a little more resistance than this one, but it's just because there's less ink being put on the page. Now, I'm going to give my sister both of these because she has recently started journaling. And I never have asked her what kind of journals she's using. So since I don't know whether she's using fountain pen friendly paper or not, she'll have 2 pens that will work on pretty much any kind of paper, or on fountain pen friendly paper, or I've had good luck on pretty much any paper with this combination of pale blue dot and the dry nib. And the one I'm super excited about that I'm hoping works out is this 78G Plus with a fine nib. I'm really wanting Diamine Earl Grey to work out on this one. Yeah, that feels great. And so it's just as wet as the medium nib, but there's less ink just because, you know, the line width's smaller. Yeah, I love this. And I have a job for this pen. Let's see, I'll go ahead and put that this was Diamine Earl Grey. I have a job for this pen that I'll probably make a video on later, but I've really been looking forward to this. This is a nice alternative to my Pilot Custom 74. The Earl Grey performs just as good in it. Now, the reason I keep talking about that is because Diamine Earl Grey is kind of a finicky ink. It doesn't feel that great. It looks great in all the nibs that I've tried it in. The shading and just the way it looks on the page, but it just doesn't feel good in all pens. So I'm super happy about this one. And one more thing, while I'm up here, I'll mention it. I've had trouble with Rouge Granat crusting up in the nib of this Jinhao X750, and something that several people suggested was just run it under a tap. Take it in the kitchen or whatever, run it under the tap for a second, wash all those crystals that have formed off the nib, and you're good to go. And that's true. That's what I do, but I'm upstairs in my study. I don't want to have to run downstairs, so I just recycled an old jar, put some distilled water in it, and I just dip the nib in it, and I have a ink rag over here that I use for wiping up some excess ink. Just kind of wipe off the excess and we're good to go. Let's see how it looks. It's been setting here all afternoon. I tried it out. Yeah. So that was a good suggestion. I'll get more use out of this pen now. And I've got my Nemesign 0.6 stub on it. Man, I just like the combination of that ink with this pen and this nib. That's the love this stub nib. Super smooth. And it's not, the edges aren't sharp, and the I guess the italic, what am I looking for? The character that it gives your writing is not super sharp. It's not really in your face. If you just want some subtle character to your writing, it looks kind of like a medium nib, but with just a little extra flair. So that's nice. And if you ever want to fake a nosebleed, just use a little Rouge Granat on a napkin. All right. I am super happy. I And let me show you, since the Diamine Earl Grey has dried a little bit now. In the medium nib, it's a little bit darker. And I don't know, it's more of a charcoal gray in real life. I don't know if that's coming across as black. And this looks almost like a dark pencil lead. I am just super happy with that. And I think my sister will be happy. These two inks look good together. So, all right. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.